Hey there, I am so glad that you're here today because what I'm about to share with you as a job seeker is something that literally has changed the game for hundreds of people I've coached. People who went from feeling nervous and unprepared and unsure what to expect when walking into a 30-minute interview with the hiring manager and then walking out knowing, and I do mean really knowing, that they're close to a job offer. So I'm talking about this 30-minute interview with the hiring manager, the main decision maker in the interview process. Remember, no matter how much you and the recruiter hit it off, the hiring manager is the head of the hiring team for the role that belongs to you. And here's what I want you to believe before we even get into this content. If your resume and your LinkedIn profile gets you this 30 minutes, you should get hired, period. But you need to understand the pitfalls and how you go about differentiating yourself. The knowledge that you know how to do the job, well, that's already been decided. It comes to some of the other areas that can be more important than your experience. Now I know 30 minutes, that's it. How am I supposed to show everything I've accomplished and what I can bring to the table for them in just a half hour? Well, here's the truth. And this is what most job seekers never figure out. Not everything matters equally. It's not even close. So let me tell you why 30 minutes is more than enough time. I've worked with hiring managers, recruiters, COOs, CEOs, VPs of sales, and I can tell you, I've had dozens of hiring officials say after interviewing one of the candidates that I've worked with, Lori, I knew in seconds I was going to hire this person. Seconds, not 30 minutes, seconds. And those are the only ones willing to admit it out loud, because here's what's really happening in every single interview. The hiring manager is forming an impression fast based on instinct, based on bias, based on whatever mental template they are carrying. And then for the rest of the conversation, they're rationalizing to themselves the way they are feeling this initial feeling. So the question isn't, how do I cram everything in? The real question is, do you know what actually moves the needle in those first few minutes? There are 4 areas that determine whether you get hired in a 30-minute interview. Just 4. Everything else is secondary noise. And in this 4-part series beginning today, I'm walking through each one in depth so you can prepare intentionally, show up confidently, and dang it, close the deal. Part 1, which is what we're going to be talking about now, is likability. Part 2 is about fit and risk. Part 3 is your power story. And part 4 is the most ones that people completely blow off, and it's the questions you ask. Master all 4 of these in this interview, and it becomes the runway to your offer. Let's talk about likability. Likability, I know, it sounds soft. It sounds like it's about being charming or having the right personality. But let's get a little bit more specific than that. And it's something you can absolutely prepare for. Here's what I mean. Attention is most expensive at the beginning of the interaction. The first few moments of your interview are when the hiring manager is most tuned in, most alert, forming the strongest impressions. After that, their attention begins to drift a little bit. They get into that evaluation mode, but that opening, that's prime real estate. So when I talk about likability, I'm talking about the energy you bring into the room or into the Zoom, your body language, your smile, your enthusiasm, how easy you are to talk to. Let me give you a real example. I had a referral candidate named Lou, sales guy, really sharp, nicest guy, and unbelievably experienced. He was interviewing with the CEO of a startup software company. And I was working and provided him as a candidate for the role. This was back when we were doing a lot of phone screens before video became standard. And before his call, I coached him on his hello. And I said, Lou, I know that you are such a nice guy. And when you first jump on the phone, I want you to genuinely be enthusiastic, not too polite, if you know what I mean. Not wait for him to start talking. But say something like, hey, Robbie, it's so great to meet you. And I am really looking forward to this conversation. And I made him practice it over and over. And he laughed and he goes, really? Okay. All right. He practiced it. It became natural. And you may feel like you already do this, but so many candidates, what happens is they either get on the phone or they jump into the Zoom room and they wait for the interviewer to initiate the conversation. So understand you own these few moments. And when I debriefed with Robbie about Lou, he said, word for word, Lori, I knew within the first 5 seconds this was going to be a great interview, and I knew I was going to want to hire this guy. 5 seconds. 5. From hello. So the one rule for likability, here's what you need to write down. If it takes effort to talk to you, you're in trouble. If there's friction, if there's awkward silence, if the hiring manager feels like they're pulling teeth to have a conversation with you, you are already losing. It needs to flow. The energy needs to be mutual. They need to feel good when they talk to you, not because of what you're saying, but because of how you make them feel when you say it. This isn't about being an extrovert. It's about showing up prepared, warm, and present. It's about making the hiring manager feel like talking to you is the easiest, most energizing part of their day. So your challenge before the next video, I want you to practice your hello right now, out loud. Say, hey, find a name. It's so great to connect with you today. I've been really looking forward to this conversation. Say it 3 times. Make it feel natural, because that first impression is setting the entire trajectory of your interview. Don't be timid. Don't wait until they talk. So if you want to go deeper than what I'm covering in this series, I have a full recorded training available that walks through every one of these areas and more in great detail. And it also comes with a 28-page bonus playbook so that you can truly prep specifically for your interview. This is going to build out your one-on-one personal interview strategy. I help people land their job in under 90 days. That's where I want you to be. So the link for that recorded workshop, it's down below. And part 2 is going to be coming up tomorrow. This is when we're going to go deep into fit and lowering risk. This one for me, this is what you have to be able to reframe in order to be successful in your interviews. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.